LeBron said. Some of it was true. I did pay my debt. That's not true. I was never late to the All-Star game. So that's not true. But I don't overreact. I'm not going to say anything bad about him or get personal. I appreciate him reading. What do they call it when you go on the internet and find out things about people?
They Google you. Yeah.
I'm glad. Clearly, he Googled me and found out some things because I think he was young when I was playing. So he clearly Googled me. So I appreciate that.
Charles, why do you believe he took the conversation in a personal direction?
Well, I think when you don't like the message, you just kill the messenger. And that still does. Some of those things he said about me are correct. That still does not make my message incorrect. I thought he was really whiny and complaining the last couple of weeks, talking about he got no help. I'm like, dude, you just won the championship. And it's the middle of the season, and you're just bashing your teammates. I think that wasn't right.
But he called you a hater, though. You don't think there's any...
No, listen, anytime you criticize any of these young guys, you're a hater. Come on, man, you know that's silly.
Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Chris the Don One, and I am back with another video. You just heard Charles Barkley's reaction to LeBron James' quote. Now, Charles Barkley, I knew he was going to respond to LeBron James' recent clapback aimed square towards Charles Barkley. And before I get into today's topic, I first like to say this. I was thoroughly disappointed in Stephen A. Smith's recent comments on First Take about what LeBron James said and what he thought about Charles Barkley as well as LBJ. All right. Now, Stephen A. Smith on First Take was pretty much in the agreement and pretty much on both sides of Charles Barkley and LeBron James. Basically, he said LeBron James took it a little bit too personal. Now, Stephen A. Smith, you must have selected memory, but remember when Jalen Rose did this exact same thing to your brother from another mother, Skip Bayless, when he was basically telling Skip Bayless he was not good on the collegiate level and called out his stats, all right? You went on a 2-week tirade defending Skip Bayless, and you was co-signing to the part of banning Jalen Rose from ever appearing on First Take, all right? So Stephen A. Smith, if it wasn't cool then to do that to Skip Bayless, how come it's cool to do it to the Chuckster in 2017? Now, I'm going to point out to the fact, I'm not a fan of Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley is an ass to the motherfucking hole. But like he said in that recent interview, they trying to kill the messenger, but not the message, all right? LeBron James is not disputing the message. He is trying to kill the messenger, all right? And you would think out of anyone out there in sports media, you would think Stephen A. Smith would have a problem with LeBron James. But once again, everyone's kissing LeBron James' tush and making LeBron James happy so they can continue to get those one-on-one interviews with LBJ. All right. Now, let's be fair and let's be real for a couple of minutes, okay? When you compare LeBron James' career with Charles Barkley's career, there's really no comparisons, okay? They're not even in the same motherfucking stratosphere. Charles Barkley wasn't even the best power forward in his fucking era, all right? If you was building a team and you're loaded with small forwards and you desperately need a power forward, and the only two people you can pick from is LeBron James, who's technically a small forward, or Charles Barkley, you're going to pick LeBron James 10 times out of 10, all right? Charles Barkley wasn't even the best power forward in his fucking era when you got individuals like Karl Malone and Dennis Rodman who contributed to a team a lot better than Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley didn't have the same work ethic as LeBron James. Charles Barkley didn't even take care of his health or his body. That's why he was so injury prone later in his career. But with all of that aside, what the fuck does that have to do with what Charles Barkley said about LBJ? Now, LeBron James is 33 years old, all right, which is pretty young, but in NBA circles, you're on the backside of your career. Now, a scout who scouted LeBron James 13 years ago, I remind you, said LeBron James, quote, is going to be a phenomenal player if he works on his left hand, if he works on his post game, and if he works on his three-point game. And at all of those phases, he is struggling, all right? Now, he used to work on his low post game when he was a member of the Miami Heat. He worked on it for one summer, then gave up. LeBron James is basically depending on his athletic game to beat teams on a night-to-night basis. And at 33, you cannot depend on your athletic game much longer, all right? That's why he should have worked on those other phases of his game. His low post game, his mid-range game, his three-point game. Those are things he needs to work on, and those are the things that are struggling and plaguing LeBron James even to this day. That's why LeBron James is whining about talent. He wants talented players around him, all right? LeBron James sees the writing on the wall. He knows the Golden State Warriors are going to be dominating for many, many seasons, all right? And that's why he wanted upper management, the Cleveland Cavaliers organization, to re-sign J.R. Smith to a contract that nobody else was going to give him. He also demanded the upper management to re-sign Christian Thompson to an enormous contract that no one wasn't even going to entertain that talk. He also brought in Iman Shumpert. He wanted that guy that the rest of the league pretty much gave up on, all right? These are all decisions that LeBron James is wanting and making. Not to mention, he wanted to be the highest paid player in the NBA. He's going to make $30 million this year. He's going to make $30 million next year. That's also eating the cap as well as those other three contracts I just mentioned. There's no way the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to add more talent because they got talent on their team that is eating up the fucking salary cap. You cannot be this clueless, LeBron James. And if David Griffin does the deal of the century and somehow, some way finesse Carmelo Anthony away from the New York Knicks, I still don't think that's enough, because even if you get Carmelo Anthony, you're going to have to give up something that the New York Knicks won't. You're going to have to probably give up Christian Thompson as well as draft picks, not to mention take on salary of a Joakim Noah just to get a Carmelo Anthony. That's still not going to be enough to dethrone the Golden State Warriors. Now, I have stated this in several videos. If somehow, some way they could have kept Wiggins, if they would have kept Wiggins, that would have been their younger big two, Kyrie Irving, Wiggins, as well as LBJ, all right? And they could have built around that particular talent, all right? Because in-home talent is what makes the Golden State Warriors different and elite and better than the rest of the teams in the NBA. LeBron James sees the writing on the wall. He knows he's getting close to the end of the road. It's going to be a hard struggle for LeBron James and Believe Land to pull off another title for Cleveland. But guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. It's your boy. I'm Chris the Don One, and I am out.